Welcome to Dai Headlines. I'm Li Wei Tai. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the show, Tzu Chi's aid of blankets and cash reaches tornado victims in Tuscaloosa in the U.S. state of Alabama. We meet a volunteer at Taiwan's Home Caregivers Association who uses his own experience to encourage others who feel strained by their commitment. And later, also in Taiwan, a sufferer of dwarfism, Gan Yayun, has shown that whatever the disability, one can always reach for the stars. Tzu Chi's free clinics in the Philippines have been a commitment of many years. This time, to celebrate the 110th year of Rizal Province, volunteers were invited to organize a free clinic that offered cataract and other eye operations and free prescription glasses. By the day's end, 602 patients were treated. Ribbons, flowers, music and high spirits. Philippines' Rizal Province celebrates its 110th anniversary and the opening of the provincial hospital. But there is more.
They will be providing medical service today.
Our patients don't have the means to travel to Manila for surgery. That's why we are here with our equipment to help them. They can have surgery here.
Allow me to thank Tzu Chi Foundation.
Allow me to thank the Tzu Chi Foundation. We have so many needy patients here. Eye surgery is costly, so we want to thank you for helping our people.
Volunteers traveled a long way for the free clinic. For eye patients like Susana Centeno, who has 7 children while her husband does odd jobs here and there, it was Sister Teresa's recommendation that brought her to the free clinic.
Needy cataract patients can always count on the Tzu Chi Foundation for help.
I've been praying that someone would come and help me see again. I think it has finally come true.
The finalization of the date of her surgery moves Susanna to tears of joy and anticipation. Many patients like Susanna lost their eyesight because they couldn't afford treatment. To reduce such tragedies, Tzu Chi's charity clinics now offers cataract and pterygium surgery, ophthalmology, and even prescription glasses for presbyopia. Another patient, Lonio Zonio, dropped out of school due to severe myopia. Without money for new glasses, he clings to his old pair that is no longer suitable. Under such conditions, as a tri-show driver working with his father, Lonio's health is a huge concern for his mother.
It saddens me to see him drop on his knees and grab at the floor whenever he drops his glasses. He's big now and we are not young anymore. I worry about his future.
Volunteers quickly made arrangements to give Lonio a new pair of glasses. In this, Tzu Chi's 144th free clinic in the Philippines, many patients leave with a smile and renewed eyesight and hope. Moving to the United States, at the end of April this year, tornadoes ripped through 7 southern states, killing hundreds in their trail. Among the damaged cities, Tuscaloosa in Alabama was the hardest hit. On June 11th, Tzu Chi organized an aid distribution there, handing out cash and blankets to the displaced residents.
When I looked to the south from the north of the river, I saw a heavily overcast sky. It was like 2 different worlds. It was sunny on this side and very dark on the other. This is a gas station, and this food court here used to be on the other side of the street. There was a donut shop here. I bought 24 donuts in the morning, and by the afternoon, the entire shop was gone without a trace.
In only a matter of minutes, the residents' world was turned upside down. 7 Tzu Chi volunteers from Texas once again drove for 10 hours to the hardest hit city in Alabama, Tuscaloosa.
April 27th, that's the day I never forget. I come outside and my neighborhood was gone. It scares me because I don't want to lose my kids.
Nearly 3 months after the tornado, for many people, life is still in tatters. So when Tzu Chi volunteers brought blankets and cash, some disaster victims broke down in tears of gratitude.
You know, I think it's going to be better. It's going to bring the city, the communities, and everybody closer together.
Though the journey to disaster areas may be long and arduous, volunteers are unfazed and will continue to help tornado victims piece back their life together. Taiwan's fishing industry has seen a steady decline since its prime in the 1970s, and thus life in the fishing villages around the island has become difficult. Only infirm seniors and the very young are left behind, while the strong and able go to the cities in search of a better life. This is why Taiwan's Coast Guard administration has taken on the extra duty of caring for fishing communities.
阿嬷今摆身体较好啊，
较惊啦。
对啊。
以前你这是听到巴肚对吧？
对啊，巴肚啊。
现在安尼就安尼在记哦，这个这包无。
In eastern Taiwan, Su'ao, officers of the Coast Guard Administration's Da Kengu Inspection Office are glad to find this missing senior alive and well. Grandma Wu is nearly 80 years old. She lives alone and has no children. Thankfully, CGA officers come by regularly to help her with day-to-day chores.
It's so hot out, but you still came to help me clean. That makes me really happy. We should be empathetic to others. You will feel hot in this weather too.
We feel that in whatever we can do, we should do as much as we can.
Like most fishing villages in Taiwan, here in Su'ao, the fishing industry workforce has declined from 70% of the town's population in the 70s to now a mere 5%. People 20 years old and younger and seniors 65 years old and above make up 40% of the town's population. Most of the other 60% are working in the cities. Thus, young and strong CGA officers have stepped into the breach to serve the community. Besides ensuring the safety of fishing vessels, the inspection office takes on the duty of caring for the needy in the community. Officers prepare 3 meals a day and deliver them if need be. Grandpa Lin is glad that his CGA son is here again with food. Grandpa Lin starts to share his glory days of fishing for a living and the loneliness of living alone. As Grandpa Lin yaps away, the young deputy chief Wang Jianzi listens intently. This has been their way for years.
Recently, I'm no longer able to climb on top of my roof, and when my house has a leak, they came to patch it up for me. They are better than my own grandchildren.
Su'ao residents already know that these CGA officers are the one to call in their time of need. Grandpa Lin has come to depend on them and is grateful for their dedication.
I got tired of flipping through photo albums, so I had all pictures posted on the walls.
Wang Jianzi is only 20-some years old. Time spent with Grandpa Lin often moves him to tears.
Grandpa is living here on his own. Life can be quite lonely here. I hope that I will not share the same fate one day, so if I can, I'll do my best to care for Grandpa Lin.
Perhaps for these young officers serving away from home, caring for their communities also helps make them feel at home.
While Taiwan's Coast Guards help take care of solitary seniors, the majority of the burden of looking after old people falls on the shoulders of the children. In the last part of our series on home caregivers in Taiwan, we meet a visually impaired woman who looked after her ailing parents for 13 years until they died. Long Xiangyan is now helping others like her as a volunteer for Taiwan's Home Caregivers Association.
那我们今天的主题是谈到的是视障者他如何照顾生病的家人哈。那我们今天很高兴，就是有人邀请了那个爸妈我在这里的那个作者龙祥燕女士来跟大家分享。
各位朋友，大家好，我叫龙祥燕，一条龙的龙，吉祥的祥，燕子的燕。我出生在台中，我原来的职业是教小提琴。
Long Xiangyan is a visually impaired woman who looked after her ailing parents until they died. Finally graduating from her position as a home caregiver, she sacrificed her youth and her health along the way.
I carried my father like this, supporting him with one arm while one of my dad's arms was over my shoulder. Carry him once like that was exhausting.
55-kilogram Long Xiangyan supported her 76-kilogram father like this for 13 years, looking after both parents without a break. Over time, the physical work took its toll. Now the former violin teacher cannot play the instrument anymore. Long Xiangyan has started practicing music again on the Chinese spike fiddle. She quit work to care for her parents full-time, but is now over 60 years old. Her poor health meant she could not go back to her old job of teaching violin.
The doctor told me many times not to play because of my hearing. My hearing is deteriorating, so for the sake of my ears, the doctor told me not to practice. Anyway, I've been knocked back so many times, I don't care anymore.
There are no textbooks to teach you how to be a home caregiver. Most are motivated by family love and a sense of responsibility to keep supporting their ailing relatives.
How has Mr. Lu been recently? And you? Of course you're tired. That goes without saying.
Now Long Xiangyan encourages other people in her situation as a helpline volunteer at Taiwan's Home Caregivers Support Center. She says only someone who has been there can fully understand what they're going through.
We have to take care of ourselves first, give ourselves time to wind down, ask our family to cooperate, and accept help from society. Only if you look after yourself and stand up can you keep going.
Many caregivers exhaust their youth and health to extend the lives of their relatives. That noble gesture of self-sacrifice is taken for granted by current Taiwanese government policy.
In Europe and America, they think everyone should be looked after by the nation. Today, if I quit work to take care of my family, they will help me get through the interim period with some welfare support.
Long Xiangyan worked without an income, even eating into her savings for 13 years. Long-term care insurance, which is still in the planning phase, will translate family care into cash payments so that home caregivers will be financially rewarded. Apart from economic support, home caregivers also need help from their family and friends so that they will not have to walk this long road on their own.
Knowing that in addition to support and encouragement, primary home caregivers need time to rest and recharge, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia's Penang have put together what they call their Hospice Inpatient Respite Care Plan to help families care for relatives with cancer. I was always concerned. When I work, I was always thinking, I hope nothing has happened. I was always worried about what I would find when I came home and whether or not he had tripped.
Living in the mountainous outskirts of Penang, Malaysia, Li Baojing works 8-hour daily shifts, in addition to taking care of her husband, who suffers from end-stage prostate cancer.
It is about 11 p.m. when I come home. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and then go to bed. The things that need to be done around the house, I don't have time or energy to look at them. I do them on my one day off of the week.
Tzu Chi volunteers with experience in caring for cancer patients know well the difficulty of taking care of the infirm day after day. Therefore, volunteers decided to organize a hospice inpatient respite care plan. Cancer patients are given a bed in Mount Miriam Hospital, with hospital fees paid by Tzu Chi, thereby giving their caregivers a chance to rest and recoup their energies.
With him at home, his family is always worried about him, whether or not he has eaten, if he is getting around okay. With him in the hospital, family members can put down these worries for a while.
Are you doing it? Oh, you speak English. That's very good.
Li Baojing and her husband Huang Qinzong are the first to be enjoying the benefits of the new plan. At the hospital, Huang Qinzong enjoys the professional care of nurses and the company of family members and volunteers. And Baojing can now not only get some well-deserved rest, but also catch up on her housework.
Now I'm not worried because there are nurses to take care of him, so now I can rest and I can sleep longer. He really likes it there. This is all thanks to Tzu Chi.
By offering short hospital stays free of charge, Tzu Chi's hospice inpatient respite care so far has been a success in helping family members of cancer patients drop their heavy burdens for a while.
We go to the Dajia district of Taichung City in central Taiwan for our next story to meet dwarfism sufferer Gan Yayun. The young student may only be 110 centimeters tall, but she does not let her short stature get her down. At home, she helps her single mother with the chores, and at school, she's always near the top of the class. Ever smiling, Yayun says she wants to be a psychologist when she is older.
The bottom of her class in terms of height, achondroplasia sufferer Gan Yayun is nevertheless a happy and bright student who has never been out of the top 3 achievers in the last 2 years of junior high.
Since kindergarten, I realized I was different, but if you care about it, you'll feel bad. If you pretend nothing is wrong and happily live your life, you forget about it.
She's not pessimistic because of her disability. She's always optimistic.
She tries to show her best side, which makes people around her feel she's special.
In school and at home, Yayun is a good girl. Her father died of cancer when she was 4, leaving her mother to bring her up alone.
When the home is a mess, she helps clean up and helps look after her little cousins. When I come back from work, she asks me, "Mom, are you tired? I'll make some tea for you and give you a massage."
Only 110 centimeters tall, Yayun is reaching for her dreams. She won a Presidential Education Award this year and wants to be a psychologist.
People who go to see psychologists have some emotional problems and things they don't want other people to know. I know how that feels, so I want to help them.
When the students see her, they think if Yayun can be so positive, they can face up to the problems in their lives too.
With the support of her teachers and classmates, smiling Yayun is proof that dwarfism should not be a barrier to leading a quality life.
8 years ago in Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur, a pair of twin toddlers who were abandoned were sent to a nearby children's shelter. In 2010, Tzu Chi was introduced to the shelter and began offering scholarships as well as medical services to the youngsters. Let's now take a look at how Tzu Chi and Tima are helping these homeless children get a new start on life. We meet the twin boys who are now 10 years old.
This is cowboy.
10-year-old Andrew is carefully drawing out his dreams.
Do you feel happy today?
Yes.
Why?
I
draw.
Andrew is like many of the others here at a children's shelter. Coming from a broken home, he uses pictures to express his dreams of the future.
Each action of theirs can have a meaning or a reason behind it. Maybe they want the attention of others or need more care and love.
This is the children's home.
The background of children, they are abused, neglected, abandoned. All right. The children come here by word of mouth to the public, by single mothers who have a problem, or by the welfare, or by the police.
The children's shelter is located in Petaling Jaya City and now oversees the care of 37 children, ages 3 through 19. Although the operating funds of the shelter are met by kind donations, there remains an urgent need for medical care.
We thought that we could take a different track this time and bring Tima into the shelter. We have organized teams of 7 children led by a volunteer that gave the children more time to interact.
Dentists, pediatricians, and psychotherapists are among the many doctors present that are doing their part in helping these children grow up healthy and happy.
At the moment, there's no medical doctors, and we're so happy. Tzu Chi Society has come today. The society has come to help the kids, and at least we know how the medical aspect of children.
With no mother's or father's love, these children find care and support in the arms of Tzu Chi. That these children are a different skin color makes no difference to the volunteers, who attend to each one with a heart of compassion and warmth.
On this day, the 20th of June, the then septuagenarian Queen Victoria celebrated her Diamond Jubilee on this day in 1897. Queen Victoria is not only the longest reigning female monarch in history, but also the longest serving monarch in British history. Her reign is known as the Victorian era. The Organization of African Unity made the 20th of June Africa Refugee Day to raise awareness of the humanitarian crises brought by civil wars and hunger on the continent. The UNHCR later decided that from 2001, the day would also be celebrated as World Refugee Day. Berlin was the capital city of the German Empire from 1871. However, after the Second World War, the country was separated into East and West Germany and the city was divided. After Germany was reunified in 1990, its parliament voted for the capital to be made Berlin on this day in 1991. Beginning February of 1997, Tzu Chi volunteers from around Taiwan came together to collect second-hand clothes to send to Azerbaijan. On this day of the same year, a Tzu Chi disaster relief team set out on a visit to the Eurasian country to assess local residents' needs and provide assistance.
The last story today takes us to Pingdong, Taiwan, where an 80-year-old man single-handedly takes care of his 50-year-old son suffering from diabetes. After learning of their situation, Tzu Chi volunteers went to their house to help clean up and give the pair a fresh new look.
With help from Tzu Chi volunteers, 50-year-old Mr. Pan finally walks outside of his house. Suffering from diabetes and blurry vision, Pan has slowly fallen into depression as he finds he can only rely on his 80-year-old father.
I thought they could take care of each other, but his son is ill and has problems with his legs and he didn't want to get out of the house.
When my vision became blurry, I didn't dare walk out of the house as I was afraid that I would fall, so I began staying inside.
Seeing the pair living in a small metal house that's no bigger than 10 square meters and filled with recyclables collected by Pan's father, Tzu Chi volunteers decide to help them clean up and give Mr. Pan a good wash. Apart from wiping the dirt off Mr. Pan's body for him, volunteers busily sweep, mop and clean the furniture. They even bring new mattresses for the father and son pair. With a smile on his face, Mr. Pan's father knows, despite the long and unpredicted path ahead, that they will not be alone with Tzu Chi volunteers by their side.
Finally today, Tzu Chi volunteers in Banqiao, Taiwan have been busy promoting Dai TV in local hotspots and helping with Rhythm's monthly special photography exhibition at the Banqiao train station. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Dai Headlines. Goodbye.